Hello, hi. I see there's lots and lots of chit chat. Let me get rid of the desk view for a second. We don't need that. And now we've got just me. Hi, everyone. I see that there's been some fun chit chat here tonight. It started with just Margaret and Cherie having their own little party, and Rose joined the party, and then we had Sunny came in, and Jean. Hey, girls. Lots of folks here. Oh, so much you wanted, Rose. I know, right? There's so many nice things. This catalog is a good one. I am so excited about it. The fact, though, that it's only 4 months long is making me really careful to try and really focus on what I want to show, because I know I've only got 4 months to do it this month and then 3 more. So for those of you who are just wanting lots and lots of stuff because you love to have it and you don't see the difference for me is because I do it as a business, I've moved my stuff on. I don't hold on to things. Once they retire, I move them on, and I try and only deal in new stuff. So that means I have to be very careful about what I'm making purchases. So 65, happy birthday. Well done. That's nice. Well, that's a nice little present for yourself, Jean. Happy birthday, everyone. Happy birthday to Jean. That's cool. Okay. Let me just go through, see if I've missed anything that I hope I haven't missed anything, because I haven't answered all the questions, I know, if there are any, or commented on everything. I'm not going to say hello to everyone. I'm so sorry. But if you do have a specific question tonight, just pop it in the comments and I will try and get to it. If I miss it, someone usually lets me know. De-Christmasing. You know what? We didn't even Christmas this year. I know it's very bah humbug of me, but this year we didn't even put up a tree. There was a whole bunch of things going on just before Christmas, and it did not lend itself to putting up a tree, and I certainly didn't relish the idea of pulling it down again so quickly after. So I didn't. That's very bad. I'll try and make up for it next year, because I do like having a Christmas tree. We just didn't do it this year. I know. There's so much nice stuff, isn't there, Jean? Oh, I did too. Look, there it is. I've got one as well. So I love this little thing. Of course, it works exactly the same as the white mini cut and emboss machine, because it's exactly the same except for the color. But if you want one of these, you can get one right now by joining. So I will talk about that probably later. But it is part of the joining special that is only available. You can only get it by joining. Or if you're a demonstrator, you were able to get it last month. It was available in December right up until the 4th of January for demonstrators. And for new people, it's only available now for people who join as a new demonstrator. You're using yours right now, Nori. Do you love it? Do you really love it? I know, pulling Christmas, I just couldn't bear the idea of pulling it down. And yeah, we had a lot going on this year. So Christmas was a little bit different this year, but that's okay. That's all right. Okay, so I did get 2 boxes of goodies today, actually, things that that I really want to work with over the next month or two. And so I have got a couple of new things to show you. Oh, you do love it? Good. That's really good. Hey, Margaret Griffith, how are you? Is it a bit bigger than the grey one? What's the grey one, Cheryl? Do we have a grey one? I don't know what you mean. Hey, Shirley. All right. Okay, so I'm actually going to show you something kind of that you think you might have seen before, and something I know I haven't shown you before. Ooh. So let's switch over to the desk. There we go. See, it says desk. You know, I didn't write, normally I write Linda's desk or desk view when I'm typing that in before I start. And tonight I'd already put my phone in the holder, and so the holder was actually covering most of the keyboard, but DES was poking out and K was poking out. So you just got desk tonight. So so there we go. But this is the new mini catalog. These are all my little bits and pieces. I've actually got some of these now, so I can start taking these off. But there's still going to be a couple left, but a lot of these now I have. So I'm going to show you this tonight because I've only had the paper to show you before. And I'm not showing you that one tonight, but I am going to show you something that I really, really, really like. Where is it? Just in this section. Here it is. All right. So I want to show you this. All right. So this is something I decided. I got the stamps, the dies, and the paper, and they're absolutely beautiful. But the reason I'm showing you this tonight is because this paper and this set is actually going to be used in my craft along video that I'm going to be doing at the end of the month. So the craft along video is, let me look at my calendar. I know I should know this off by heart, but I don't because I keep forgetting the date. I've got my little diary here. Let me just pull it up and I will tell you. It's the 28th, January the 28th, which is a Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock Sydney time. So you may just need to do if you're like me, I find time zones really hard to work out. So I have to go and use a converter to actually work out what time it is in my zone. But it'll be 2 p.m. in our time, Sydney time, East Coast of Australia. And I'm not sure what time it will be elsewhere. But this set, I'm going to be using the paper. And people who ordered last month and who are getting the supply pack this month are going to be getting the paper and everything all cut up ready to go. And for everyone else, I'll be telling you what to do. Now, if you don't have these dies or you don't have the paper, you'll still be able to craft along. I'll give you measurements and an alternative to make a beautiful card anyway. But we are doing diorama cards this month. Okay, so diorama cards are one of my favorite types of tree. Sorry, I just looked at Gina's comment and said tree instead of cards. But dioramas are absolutely my favorites. I've been making them for years and had a lot of fun on YouTube with my various dioramas. You can go searching for them on YouTube. If you are on my channel and search up diorama, you'll find I've done them several times. Most recently, I did one with the Happy Forest dies and matching stamp set. And I really liked it, how it turned out. But we're going to be doing one similar kind of idea to that one, but we're going to be using this set because this set, being a scenery set, lends itself really, really well to a diorama card because you can really add dimension and, like you're looking at a view. So that's what we're going to be doing. If you don't have the paper, like I said, I'll give you alternatives, but I wanted to show you tonight because if you thought to yourself you really like this set, you might want to have it ready to go for the craft along. Okay, so if you do happen to have it, don't forget though, if you ordered with me last month, you're going to be sent all the pieces that you need. All right, so I did like this set though. The bundle itself, like you can buy all of it together, which includes the twine and the little enamel sticker dot things and the paper as well, and the whole lot together is $141 for everything. But if you just want the stamps and the dies, that bundle is $91.75. So $91.75, and then you could pick from the celebration stuff because every $90 you get a free item. So these will actually be enough to get you a free celebration item. But let's have a look at them because they're really, really nice. I pulled them out before we started just so I could show you tonight. This is the set. It's called Greatest Journey. And it's got I really like the sentiments in this set. That's really what sold me on this. This moment is the start of something great. I'm so inspired by your courage. You belong among the stars, mountains of thanks, wishing you joy in the next adventure, and we're in this together. So you could use these for a whole variety of different types of occasions. So this one, I really like this, wishing you joy in this next adventure. I think that'd be great to give to someone who is retiring. Don't you think that would be a great one? Or if someone was moving or, at a crossroads in their life where they're about to go and do something different, I think that's a really great sentiment for that. Oh, 4 pages of stickers? I didn't realize there was so many, Jean. That's really good to know. Thank you. I did not know that. So, hey, Susan, nice to see you. Yeah. Absolutely. Not of the diorama because I haven't finished making it yet. So no, but we will be making that together at the craft along, and then there'll be another 5 or so projects of different types of diorama cards and videos for those as well, for anyone who placed orders last month or anyone who would like to purchase them this month. Okay, and I have I've been thinking about reevaluating my price going into the new year. So for people who are purchasing the tutorials, they were last year. I had them going out for $20, and I've decided to reevaluate and experiment a little bit with the price. This year, I've decided to start by offering them at 15. That's 15 Australian dollars. Now, if you live elsewhere, if you live overseas, then you may find that the exchange rate works greatly in your favor. For example, if you're in the US, $15 Australian is roughly $10 US. So it makes it a really good price for 5 tutorials, all the measurements and everything you need to make 5 great diorama cards. But look out for that. The live video that everyone is welcome to come to, it's completely free, will be on the 28th of this month. Okay. So this set here is called Greatest Journey. I mean, I love the little pine trees as well. I've got all sorts of things you can kind of put in the foreground, and then you've got some great sentiments. This is a great little moon. I love this, and you'll see when we get to the paper, they've got kind of a copy of that in the paper as well. Susan likes the sound of Jean's chocolate cake. Yes, indeed. All right, let me see. Open these up. Now, the reason I like these, and I'll show you the sentiments in, the samples in the set in a minute. So we've got these ones here, like you can see these couple here that cut out these images on the front. So this one cuts out the pine trees. You can see that there. Before I take these off, just a little tip for anyone who hasn't heard me say this before, really, before I take them off, I should draw around them with a pen. But I literally just brought them out of the box. They only got delivered like an hour ago, so I haven't even done that yet. But we've got a detail for the tent and the actual body of the tent. We have the trees that you can cut out of here. We also have this one here. This one here is for the foliage here at the front. And you can stamp that either directly onto your paper, or you can cut it out and then, you know, die cut it with these guys. So really, really nice. I really like them. There's a moon. There's a mountain biker and a hiker and a jogger. And there's some clouds and other fun things. So it's a really, really useful set. This is like a little flagpole. So yeah, there's really, really cool things here. I really, really like it. I think it'll be a lot of fun to use. So like I said, just arrived, haven't even used it yet. And that's why I haven't made the diorama card, Donna, because I was waiting for this stuff to arrive. And so now that it's arrived, guess what I'll be doing this weekend? I'll be actually designing the card that we're going to be making. All right, so here is the paper. The paper is absolutely beautiful. I know it's really hard to get the dies back in the same place. Great for guy cards, really great for guy cards, or someone who's a bit outdoorsy or loves to travel, or there's lots and lots of uses for this. I think that makes it pretty useful, really useful set. Okay, so you've got, let me go quickly through the paper colors. We've got Coastal Cabana, Garden Green, Highland Heather, Mango Melody, Melon Mambo, Polish Pink, Pumpkin Pie, and Starry Sky. Now, before we started, I pulled out all the colors so that the colors I just read to you, so that we can see how they match up with the paper. And you can see the Coastal Cabana and the Garden Green. You know what? Garden Green and Coastal Cabana, I probably would never have thought to put together. To me, that's not a pairing that I would normally do, and yet it looks fantastic. I think that looks so good. Up here, we've got Highland Heather and Starry Sky. So you would chop this in half, and then you could use this half for something and the other half for something else, completely different color tones. But I like how the two colors blend together in the middle. Isn't that cool? On the back, we've got like a Coastal Cabana and Garden Green design on the back. A little bit Aztec-y, isn't it? Then we have some lovely pine trees. Aren't these nice? These would be great for a diorama too. Great for a background. It's a really nice DSP Cherie, really, really good. I didn't really pay a lot of attention to this set when it first came out, but I've come back to it a number of times. And then a couple of people actually said to me, oh, that set's got your name written all over it. I'm like, yeah, I know it does. Maybe that's why I was avoiding it. I'm trying not to be typecast. But, hey, I am. So, so there, this one here is a mixture of Garden Green. That looks like soft succulent. But did we say soft succulent was in there? No, we didn't. Maybe it's Garden Green watered down, because it does look It does look like like this extra looks like an extra green. I think it's maybe just diluted. Then we have Coastal Cabana here again, and look at this. So we've got like clouds and what looks almost like a watery kind of a look here, or it could be a windy sky. Really nice. You could do a lot of things with this. It'd be a great background. Okay, on the back we've got we've got Mango Melody. The thing with Mango Melody is, to me, I will always recognize Mango Melody because it literally looks like the color of a ripe mango. It's super, super cool. This one, love this. Look at this. Okay, so remember I said before there's echoes of that moon stamp in the paper. Look at that. Look how nice it is. It almost looks like it's almost like it's dry brushed. And then we've got on this side, we've got the Coastal Cabana and the garden green, and then like a sunset kind of a sky. And then the other side, we just have the pink and the pumpkin pie. Doesn't that look nice? Isn't it lovely? I know. Well, it does do that. And listen, these paper packs, I mean, this particular paper pack is only $21 for the 12 sheets, and I think it's really good value. On the back of that, we've got Polished Pink and Melon Mambo together. If ever you thought that Polished Pink and Mambo are basically the same color, they go together, but they're not the same. Melon Mambo is darker and more intense. The Polished Pink is just a little bit watered down, I guess you would say. This one, we've got our Garden Green and Coastal Cabana going down here, and our Starry Sky and our Highland Heather up the other end, like this one. Okay, just a different. How nice are these? I love them. And I think we're nearly at the end. There's still more though. There's another one. There's 2 of these sheets as well. So we've got like a mountain kind of a design here. This could look like a sunset, like a twilight kind of a thing, or a sunrise maybe. And the other side, we've got the yellows and the Mango Melody and pumpkin pie together. And on the back of that, pumpkin pie and Polished Pink, I think. That's what I think it is. Oh, and I didn't tell you what was on the back of that one. On the back of this one, we have Starry Sky and lots of stars. Aren't they nice? I just love it. I just think it's so, so nice. So I haven't even 100% decided which color I'm going to go with for my diorama, because I have 2 packs. I'm deciding whether I'm going to need a third to send out. But that means that we might have to split it, so some people are getting, different colors. We might have 2 colorways, and say some people are going to get one and some people are going to be the other, and it'll be luck of the draw which one you get. But I really, really love this paper. I just think it's stunning. Camping under the stars. I know. So, so good. Yep, camping scrapbook pages. Great idea, Gina. Has anyone else got any other great ideas of what you could do? Jean was suggesting that other one looked like a waterfall. It does. Totally. So on the list, says Jody. Yeah, I know. Oh, that sounds good, Donna. Yeah, I know. I got the whole suite too. Well, you know what? I didn't, because I was a little bit broke when I was ordering this. I hadn't been paid yet, and I was waiting to get paid. So I got this and the paper, but also in the set is the enamel stickers and also the twine, and I will get those on my next order. Now that I've been paid, I can go ahead and get the whole lot. So but that was just what I was doing, but I thought these were really lovely. So these are the colors that I pulled out. We've got Coastal Cabana, Garden Green, Highland Heather, Mango Melody. I'm trying to do them in the order that they were on the back of the paper. Then the next one was Melon Mambo, then Polished Pink, then Pumpkin Pie, and then Starry Sky. What an interesting array of colors. I mean, I don't know that I would have put all those colors together normally, but when you're talking about doing sunset backgrounds, there's some really good colors in here for that. The Starry Sky and the tent dye. Yep, that could work. So let's see. I've got a couple of ideas of things I would like to do with this tonight, and I think let's pick. So so many good ones. All right, I'm thinking, I'm tossing up the Starry Sky with the tent die would look really nice, like what was just suggested, and that's that one there. And you could very nicely do that, but I'd like it to stand out a little bit more. So I'm thinking tonight, I really like this too. I actually think this is really lovely. I think that works so well. That reminds me of, this one reminds me of Alaska. That's what that reminds me of. In fact, a lot of these remind me of Alaska. I'm thinking maybe, I'm deciding between these two. Okay, I think I'm going to go this one. I mean, the thing is, they're all so nice. It's hard to decide because they all look good, right? There's no such thing as a bad card when you're talking about these kinds of things. So I'm thinking if I'm going to use this, I'm deciding what my back color should be. So I could go with either of these, and the polished pink also would look really nice because there's that as well. No, I think one of these two. Shall we go with the Coastal Cabana for our card front, or shall we go with the Garden Green? I'm starting to lean towards the Coastal Cabana. What do you guys think? New Mexico. Ooh, you know, there's somewhere I've never been. I have never been to New Mexico. You could. And Donna, keep that idea in mind, because remember I said to you that there'll be an alternative. So you might be onto something there. Okay. All right. Jody said green, and then everybody else, 1, 2, 3, 4, all said coastal. Jody, are you determined for it to be green, or are you happy for us to have the 1, 2, 3, 4 for the next 4 people coastal? And Jean wants green too. So how funny is that? I know. You could just put a sentiment on them and call it a done card, but we're not going to do that, of course. We're going to do a little bit more. Yeah, Jean did say green too. All right, green it is, because you were first, Jody. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to bring my trimmer in, and let's go. So let's make, we have both Coastal Cabana and green being requested. And my rule is usually, unless I can negotiate something with the person who asked, I try and pick the first person. And the first person was Jody, and she picked Garden Green. So that's just how it works. All right, so I'm actually going to use this piece here, and I'm going to cut this down to, well, am I going to go landscape? Or am I going to go, I don't know, landscape or portrait? If I go portrait, we'll go portrait this time. I've just made an executive decision. All right, this is 9.5. And I'm going to turn it over this way, and I'm going to do this at 13.8, because then that is going to fit almost exactly inside. I didn't quite cut it down far enough. It's going to fit in exactly inside my card front, Garden Green card front that I literally just cut. So putting this back in at the 9.5 mark. There we go. All right. And this is going to go like this. Oh, there it is under there. Goodness me. So straight away, it looks pretty amazing immediately. And you could, like somebody just said a moment ago, was it Kelly that said you could just stick a stamp on it and call it done? And yeah, you could. But, you know, let's use our dies. Let's see what we can do here. I've got a couple of ideas. And I'm thinking, because we have a moon there, it would be nice to do some silhouettes. So I have got this one here, cuts out like a rock or a mountain here in the front. So let's grab some black cardstock. I have some here. I've got so many things here on my table that things are all getting dumped on top of other things. But anyway, that's okay. I knew I had some. All right, so let's just, I'm going to start by, I'm just going to cut that down to 9.5 as well. And I only want a small amount, so I'm going to cut this way. And then this one here, we're going to make kind of a, and we're going to have like a rock, the silhouette of a rock that goes down this side. Now you could go the other way. You could go down this way. There's no way that says it has to go. Oh, this is something I wanted to show you in the catalog. Okay, on this, when we are talking about this set, it's on page 58 if you're wondering. See, they've got the rock going on the right hand side, and they've got the lady, the hiker, with her hiking stuff. I'm sure there's a proper word for that. It's not staff, is it? It's something else. But anyway, the stick thing that she carries when she's hiking. What do you call that? You can tell I don't do a lot of hiking. Yeah, the black will help. Exactly right. All right, so we've got this going down here, and we can have our ladies standing on top and just watching if we want to, or we could have a mountain bike rider riding down the hill if we wanted. That would work. We could have a jogger. We could do all kinds of things here. So I don't know which one to use because I like them all. Also, you could also do the outline or the silhouette of the trees. That would look nice as well. So I'm going to start by getting my mini cut and emboss machine. Here it is. And we're going to pop this in. So this is my prompt. Walking stick. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so I remember when my brother was about, I don't know, he would have been maybe 3 or 4. And my dad's a builder. And so my brother grew up on the farm. Deciding what angle I want this to be. About that. We grew up on the farm, and he was always making stuff out of offcuts of wood that Dad had left around, that kind of thing. And when he was very little, he made my mum a walking stick. And you can imagine she would have been, I'm not even sure how old she would have been, in the 30s. So I'm sure she was very impressed. I do remember this. And it was pretty funny. I mean, we all thought it was hilarious, but, he couldn't understand why we thought it was as funny as we did. But anyway, my brother is about 6 and a bit years younger than me. So, all right, so I'm actually going to stick this straight down. I'm going to use either seal or Tombow, whichever I grab first. I grab them both. So let's go. A hiking staff, a trekking pole. See, lots of people know these things. Old age, yeah. Not me. All right, you want to know something else about old age? My eyes have really gone downhill in the last few years, and right now I've become increasingly aware that I need to go back to the optometrist. Ellen, are you listening? So I made an appointment today. You'll be happy to know, Ellen. Anyway, Ellen works at my optometrist office. So yeah, we decided today that that it's becoming even more important because a couple of things. First of all, I've noticed that when I look at my computer screen that I am having to look, tip my chin up and look through the bottom of my glasses, which makes me look very strangely at the screen. And so because I can only see through the very bottom of my glasses now. And today I was following a recipe and I was using my Thermomix, and it said that you should do something particular mixing on speed 5. So I did it on speed 5. And I thought, gee, that seems fast. And I looked again at it, and it wasn't 5, it was 0.5. So I completely pulverized what we were eating for dinner. And not really what you want, but anyway, that's just what happened. Ah, dear. All right. So I don't even know where I put that die. Oh, here it is. Let's put it back in. So it goes right here like that. And shall we use will we have the lady? I think we will, because I think we could have the bike. I mean, the bike would be, you could have him so his head's kind of in front of the moon, and that would make him stand out more. Or we could have the lady with the walking staff stick thing. Yeah, I did do it. you'll be very happy because it's starting to get really bad. It's impacting our lives now. I'm starting to not be able to see really important things. And I've been doing a lot more reading lately, which is great, but I'm really struggling to read what I see. If I put him here, then his head's in front of the moon, and that would look really good. So that would look quite cool. Or we could have the lady. She's a lot smaller, though. We can have the lady here standing with her staff looking out. And we'll, have to put the staff out, obviously. But, yeah. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Now, I know exactly if I was taking medicine, I'm not on any medication. It's just as well because I'd be struggling to read the bottles. I do have trouble at the grocery store when I'm trying to read ingredients or what's in something because they're always written so tiny. Yeah. The lady would be more in proportion. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. So, lady it is then, Donna. I think Anita is the first person to say that. New glasses every July. I don't know. I feel like I didn't. Last time I went to the doctor was I think it was about July actually, and so I should have gone back. That was July 2021, and I should have gone back July 2022, but I have been managing fine. And when back in 2021, they didn't change my script because my eyes had not deteriorated anymore. So they actually let me go for another year, and now it's catching up. So, all right, so I'm going to put this here, and I'm also going to add the staff. So that's what I'm calling it now. Oh, I know. You know what I do, and well, that's the other thing. I'm trying to do my tax, and put my receipts in, and I'm having trouble reading some of my receipts. I mean, partly because they fade over time, but what I do is I take a photo of it and then blow up the photo so I can read what's on it. But if I didn't have so much trouble with my eyes, then that wouldn't be an issue. And you can't really be a crafter and do this for a living and have terrible eyesight. So anyway, all right, so what have we got? We've got a lady. Here she is. She's going to be standing there, and she's got a little lantern. Do we even need a staff? What did they do in the book? Let's have a look. And so it's page 58. See here, they've cut the lantern off and given her a staff instead. But here she's got the lantern. So I don't know. Maybe, what do we think? Do we want to get rid of the lantern and give her a staff, or we're just going to stick with the lantern? I really don't know. I have got a staff, but I had to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Take Your Pick tool. These are wonderful, wonderful things. Okay, I have a customer who was asking about the Take Your Pick tool, and I told her I would use it tonight so that she could have a closer look at what it's all about. If you don't know, they're useful for all kinds of things. One end has like a putty end, what they call a putty end. This does unscrew, and you can screw it further in, and the putty will come out more as you screw it further down. And when it's empty, you can get a refill and pop a new one on. Okay. The other end has like a pokey tool, which is probably the thing I use the most. I love this. And then also a flat tool for like getting in under things, like almost like the old chislets. Okay, so that locks in. You push it in the end there and turn it, and then that's not going anywhere. And if you want to use the other tool, you turn it around the other way. It locks in, and you turn it. If I can put it in properly, there we go. All right, you can see there's a little lock and unlock sign here on the end. If you can see that. Can you see that? There we go. So keep the lantern, says Anita. And Anita's the first. Take the lantern off, says Donna. Staff, lantern. Okay, we have a mixed bag, but the first person was Anita, and she chose to keep the lantern, so that's what we'll do. And if I wanted to use the staff, see how it's always little holes in the back? That's one of the things I use this little pokey tool for. Put them through into the back, and that helps it all lift out from the other side. Look how tiny that little staff is. Isn't it little? So we're not going to use it. She's throwing her stuff away. We might use it again another time, but that's what we're doing. And I'm going to pop her back in here, just like that. Right, so I've already glued, have I glued that down? Yeah, I have glued that down. And then I'm going to glue this down as well. I can use Tombow or I can use seal, whatever's more comfortable, but I think Tombow is good for something like this because you can just sort of dot it behind. We had a mixed bag of people wanting one or the other, but they both look good. So she was looking at camping stuff today. We bought a tent recently and I can see some camping happening in our future. So there we go. Just like that. All right. Right. So if we wanted to, we could also add on some, you know, like little pine trees down here if we felt like it. Some little bits and pieces. Don't know that it's absolutely necessary, but you could. What I thought I would do, though, for a sentiment is I think rather than I could put a sentiment anywhere in the sky, we also have dies that are clouds. So you could put some clouds up in the sky as well. You know, some little, these little guys. So you don't need to do a lot to these. I mean, my aim, for those of you who don't know this, my aim is for you guys to have an easy and fun creative experience. That's what I want. Okay, I'm going to cut these out because I think they're rather cute. Let's put these in. So just grab some white cardstock for that. I've got some scraps here that will be big enough. So this one here, put that there, and then this one here, pop this here. It's a way of using up some leftover scraps of paper. It does come with a stylus attachment. And the brush, thank you for prompting me when I don't say things very well, Jean. Yes, the Take Your Pick tool does have, I've actually got more than one because I use it all the time, but this is also one of the attachments. And this particular attachment, if you look closely, has like tons and tons of cat hair in it. And the reason why is because my ginger cat absolutely loves this thing being rubbed on him. He thinks it's the best thing ever. And that's probably, you know, stuff that you don't need to know because that's not really what it's meant to be used for. It's actually meant to be used for getting little intricate things out of your dies. So you can use this end to push things from the other side through those little holes, but you can actually also use this die to push out, like especially if you've got an intricate die, then this pushes out all those little pieces for you really fast, and it's a really invaluable tool. So I tend to keep mine like this. The one I just showed you is actually a new one that I just pulled out so that I could show everybody tonight. But this is how I normally have it. I have my pokey tool because that's the one I use the most. If I want to use the other tool, I can switch it around. But usually I have the pokey tool on and I usually have the brush on as well. So I do have a dual purpose. Yeah. You've never been camping. I have many times, many years ago, but not for a long, long time. You could add birds. Birds would be good with this, wouldn't they? So let's move that out of the way because we just cut these little clouds, and let's put the clouds on and put these back on put them on the paper. Okay. So I've got these little guys, and one will go here and one will go here. So they kind of just a little bit overlap like this or something similar to that anyway. And then down here, I actually thought it would look nice to put a greeting on the rock in white. And so we'll do that with, we'll emboss that. So I'm actually going to add some Tombow to the back of this little cloud. I think it's one of those things, you know what, I understand why people don't like to camp, because the worst thing about camping is that you've got usually so much stuff to pack before you go. But I think it's good for kids and people who, you know, I remember going camping quite a lot many years ago when we didn't have a lot of money. And so that was really handy because camping is a lot cheaper than staying in the more, you know, the nicer hotels. Don't get me wrong, I do still love myself a good, you know, a good motel. But there is something nice about camping. My kids have been saying to me for years that, you know, you promised we'd go camping and we never did. And I know, I'm sorry. But when I was single parenting, I did not like the idea of taking my kids camping, because guess who would have done all the work? Now that my husband's around, he doesn't mind and he'd be happy to help. But yeah, it's not something I ever wanted to do when I was on my own. All right, so I think maybe we could use this. We're in this together because that's a good size. Let's see what is going to work. Mountains of Thanks would work. The bigger ones, not so much. Does this fit? Oh, where is it? This one here. We could just fit in. I'm so inspired by your courage, but it might be too squeezy. The Mountains of Thanks would look good. So I'm going to go for also You Belong Among the Stars. I think the one I'm going to go for will be either Mountains of Thanks or We're in This Together. What do you think? We're in This Together or Mountains of Thanks? They're our options. First person to vote will be the one we pick. Oh, that's a good idea too. My daughter has those blue lens glasses, Cheryl. That's true, Jody. Yeah, definitely you need to have some conveniences not far away. Yeah, there's some definitely good tips. Yeah, that sounds a little primitive for me, Donna. I'm not sure I like the hole in the ground thing. I'm not really sure. Mountains, says Jody. All right, so we're going to go with Mountains of Thanks. That's this one here. I like the font that these are. This is a really nice font. Right, so we are going to, what do you call it? Emboss. We're going to heat emboss. So because of that, I'm going to do the heat embossing things. And I'm going to bring in my little kit because I love it. I've got my embossing buddy here. My understanding is you can still get this, but it's part of that kit. All right, I'm going to get my little tray and I'm going to dump it in here. Take the, doesn't really matter when I take that off. I'm going to grab some white embossing powder. And we're going to get some sticky ink. Now, it could be white pigment ink. I did say I was going to do some stuff with white ink, didn't I, Cheryl? I didn't plan that tonight. I've done that badly. I'll do it on Sunday night if that's okay. If you can't watch Sunday night, don't panic. You can always watch the replay. Now, the other option is Versamark. All right, so Versamark is a clear sticky ink, great for embossing. I probably use it the most for embossing. I like that it's clear. It does make it tricky. I'm going to take that out again so I can do my stamping. It does make it tricky to see it. It's not very exciting for videos, but we'll get there. So you probably can't see that very well. You can kind of see it if you look really closely, get the light on it just right. But yeah, you can't. It does not make for riveting video. But I promise you it'll get better. All right, we're going to dump that in here. Then we're going to pour in our powder. And you can be liberal with it. You want lots on there because you want to make sure you're going to get a good coating of colour. All right. All right. So I've also got a little brush. There's actually a brush that comes with the kit, but I'm not using that one. But that's okay. I'm just going to get rid of some of a couple of bits of stray powder have gone down the bottom where I had a bit of glue close to the edge, so it's stuck on that, but that's okay. That's why we use a brush. We get rid of all that. All right, and then before I heat that, I'm going to take this and just dump it back in so I don't waste any of this powder. I don't know if Judy's watching tonight, but Judy was saying she loves this. because she can emboss and not make a mess at all, and it is good for that. Yes, you sure can. You can stamp with white ink. Any ink that is not water-based. So all of our classic inks, all the normal colors, those are all water-based inks. So you cannot emboss with those unless you add Versamark to them, which I'll show you in another one. Just for fun. That's why, Cherie, just for fun. Mountains of thanks. That's why. All right, so I'm going to grab my heat tool and I'm going to heat that up. And you'll see it get whiter and brighter, and that's when it's cooked. So basically we're cooking the powder. You do need a heat tool. A paint stripper is too hot and will burn your paper. A hairdryer will blow the powder away. So you need something with low wind or low airflow, but hot, but not too hot. All right, we're just about there. It's really nice because it looks kind of chalky on this black and gives that kind of chalkboard effect. All right, let's try that. Now, as long as this is warm, you can, while it's warm, put your finger in it and smudge it. Or if you wiped your fingers across it, you could smudge it. So I like to wait until it cools down just a little bit before I stick my finger in it. Okay. But you can see this is coming together quite nicely. So what I'm going to do is I am going to grab some white, basic white card base. And we're going to need bling too. So we'll do that as well while it's cooling down. So I'm going to fold my card base in half and grab myself a bone folder. There we go. Right, and then this here. Now that's fine now. That's not hot anymore. And then I'm just going to pop this on my base. And then we've got to decide what bling we use. Do we need bling? I know Jody will say yes. What did Jean say that was a good idea? I missed it. It does give you a brighter look if you're using white and white embossing powder with white ink. It does. I kind of sometimes like the chalkiness of it being not quite as bright because I like that chalky look. And you can certainly read that quite nicely. Do we need bling on this card? Bling, says Jody. Of course you do. I know. Do you think it's an error? I don't think it's an error. I think they meant to do it. I think they thought they were being fancy. I don't know how fancy they actually are, but yeah. All right, let's pick. Well, we could go with the good old iridescent rhinestones. They'll work. I have also some Melon Mambo dots. Those might go. We also have opal rounds, which would work. See, I've got some opal rounds. These are soft succulent, but they would go with this, or the polished pink ones. The opal rounds are rather nice, actually. So what do we think? We have so many good choices. Also, the pastel gems have a gold in them that would look really lovely. Oh my goodness, too many choices, don't you think? We have so many things to pick from right now. Just lovely. So many nice things. So this is the gems. Okay, so obviously the Calypso Coral and the Balmy Blue, no, but the gold might go. These ones, those ones would go. All right, what have we got? So no problem, Nairi. It was lovely to have you here, and we'll see you on replay. All the The comments for Donna. I'm sorry, I got confused. So sorry. Opal says Jody. All right, Opals it is. Let's go. Right, let's. And which one will we pick? I think maybe either the polished, maybe the polished pink. Let's try that. Well, the soft succulent also goes. So maybe, huh. And I should be using my Take Your Pick tool to put these on, and I'm not. Put one there. And another one there. Just like that. What do we think? Do we like it? Something different, but the stamp set and the paper and the dies just all go together so beautifully. I just think this is a really lovely set, and I hope you love it too, because this is just gorgeous. If you're in Australia and you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. Everything I'm showing you tonight is available through my online store. And as soon as this video is over, I will edit the details in the description below the video on YouTube, and you'll see the link to the online store there, so you can go and purchase any of these things that you like. At the moment, of course, every $90 you spend, you get something for free out of the celebration booklet, and the celebration booklet has some really, really nice things in it. And one of those really nice things I'm going to show you right now, and that's this gorgeous paper called Favored Flowers. Now, I have shown you this before, but what arrived only today was the matching stamp set, because this paper coordinates with the Fragrant Flowers bundle, which is in the the mini catalog on page 21. So let's have a little look at that. I just got it, like I just said. I really, really like it. I wasn't going to get it initially. Okay, I thought when I first saw this, I thought, no, I don't love it. I don't really know if I love these flowers. But then the more I have seen it, the more it's grown on me. And of course, it matches the paper, and that was the ultimate seller, really. So, all right, let's put this away. Putting my bits and pieces away from the last card so I don't get myself all mixed up. There we go. All right, so the thing I love about this set, does anyone know what it is I love about the set? Put a crossbones on her backpack. Okay. Do you think it does? Oh, that's a horrible thought. She's not carrying a shrunken head. You are so funny. Seriously? Now I won't be able to unsee that. It is a lantern, I promise. Look, it's definitely a lantern, but yeah, I see what you're saying. And like I said, some things you just can't unsee, but oh well. You're too funny. Oh gosh. Yeah, Halloween card. I don't know. Halloween? Nah. All right, so this set here and the matching dies match this gorgeous paper. And the reason that I had to have it really was the thing that really sold it on me was the big sentiments. These sentiments, I love big words. I just think they are so effective on cards. And, you know, if you're saying hello or thanks, really you've said everything you need to say most of the time. So, yeah, I really, really like them. I just think this is such a nice set. So I'm going to open this up. Like I said, it only arrived an hour before I signed on here. So I haven't even opened these yet myself. They're brand new. Okay, so you've got these really nice leaves. I'm definitely using those. We've got this banner which fits around both the thanks and the hello. Fits both of them. Okay, you've got like a little buds. You've got a really big die which is going to cut out this flower, a smaller one which is going to cut out this flower, and then you've also got like this is a little background piece that does this is actually one of those dies that does like impresses into the paper and does like an embossing kind of a job rather than a cutting, and two little tiny rectangular ones that cut out these two words, friend and love. Okay, really useful set. I have lots of ideas of things I'd like to do with it. But tonight what I thought I would do with it is I would pull this one out. Now, something else I want to show you, okay, when a stamp set, I don't know if this is going to go through the mini, is it? Oh, it is. It is going to go through the mini, right? Generally speaking, oh, here you go. It does show it, okay? If it has this little symbol, let me pull it up bigger so you can see it. Can you see the symbol that says mini? Okay, what that means is that all the dies in this set go through the mini machine. Okay, that's an important thing to know, especially if you have a mini machine or you're planning on getting one. Okay, so the last set I just showed you, which was the journey set, that also has the little mini symbol. Okay, so all of these dies fit through the mini and all of these dies fit through the mini. So that's something to look out for if you have a mini machine. Now, if ever you see a set of dies and it doesn't have the mini symbol, it doesn't mean that none of the dies fit through. It means usually that the largest dies in the set won't fit through. And so for that reason, it has not been declared to be suitable for all the dies to go through the mini. So it's giving you an eye. They do look like a cross between a cabbage roses and a peonies. Yeah, they do. Not quite. They're probably a little bit too tight. Oh, I don't know. Because peonies are very, they are very tightly sort of wound together. But these, like you say, that one kind of does look like it, but these ones less so. So, yeah. But, yeah, I'm not sure what kind of flowers they are, but they're very pretty. They're nice. All right, so what I pulled this die out for, all by itself, is because we're going to have a play with the paper. Okay, let me bring this in and grab the paper. Now, I love this paper. When I first saw it, I thought to myself, that's very dramatic. I don't know whether I like it. Okay, if you look at some of this paper, guess what? These ones and these ones all cut out with that die. So, or with the big die, and then the smaller die that we just talked about does the smaller ones. So you can see, where is it? This one fits perfectly. And then this one goes the other way, and this one fits perfectly. Okay, so they are really, really nice the way they fit. Now, this is where we get to pick, because I haven't actually cut up the paper yet, because I thought I will wait and see what everybody wants. Shall we do purple flowers or shall we do coral flowers? And the first person to pick gets to choose the color of our card tonight. So you get to pick. Which one do you think? Oh, that's okay. You don't have to like the set. Like I said, it wasn't my cup of tea when I first saw it either. And I don't expect you guys to like every single thing that I play with. But mostly because the paper is so stunning, that was kind of what first sold me on it. Oh, who said the first one? Cherie said purple. I think that's the first one. Cherie was fast with her fingers. So Cherie said purple's her favorite. Yeah, maybe you'll change your mind. I've done a lot with it. Like I did, I've done a whole bunch of cards with it, actually. You might have seen some I did with those cards on an angle. Do you remember that? I did those the other day. So we're going purple because that was the first response. And let me grab my scissors. Easier said than done by the looks of things, because I think I took my scissors away when I was opening my boxes an hour ago. Also, let me grab them. They're not over there either. And I'm not using, oh, here they are. They're right here in front of me. Oh, my gosh. Reminder. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to cut around here because I don't want to, I want to still have plenty of paper left so that I can cut the other ones, right? And I want to sort of cut around it rather than cutting right through it. So let's pop that there. And let's pop this here. And let's work out where this goes. There it is. So it fits perfectly, of course. It's designed to. It's meant to fit perfectly. And then we need to put the top plate on. There it is. Ah, and I made it move. All right, here's a tip for you. All right, we do not have currently a magnetic plate because the magnetic plate that they brought out a while back had some quality assurance issues, and rather than work with something that was defective, they pulled it completely until they can get it right. Which was really disappointing because, you know, obviously we want to have a product that we can promote and a product that we love. But I'm just going to put a post-it note on top of this because post-it notes are so thin, they stick on there and hold it together, but they don't add to the bulk. So a post-it note will hold it in place for you. So just a good little tip to keep some post-it notes through next to your desk so that anytime you need them, you can help run them through and hold it in place. And you'll see that the post-it note doesn't detract from the cutting. And you can double check that it has cut through if you want to before you take it off. But you can see it's coming off already. There we go. And it looks really pretty. Now's the fun bit. We get to decide whether we want to put this on a piece of black and a piece of vellum over the top, which would be quite striking if I could do that. Or also I have some shimmer paper here, which is the Fresh Freesia, which is exactly the right color for this. So that's another option. And let me grab some more Fresh Freesia paper right here. And I'm going to cut this out. So we get to choose our background. So if I'm going with the Fresh Freesia, that will be 10 centimeters by 14.3, which is my card front size. If I'm going with the black, and I still haven't decided, now we have a whole bunch of options of different things we could do with this. Shimmer's nice, isn't it? Look how beautiful this is. It's just stunning, this paper. I love it. All right. I'm cutting it into 1-inch strips. And as usual, I'm just making it up, really. I don't know exactly what I'm doing here. But if we're going to go on the black, I'll need to cut it down. But I'm thinking maybe some shimmer behind. It'll be quite dramatic, but that's okay. And we'll need to take off around about, probably about 1.5 centimeters, which is just over 1/2 inch. Let's try that. Actually, I think I messed that up. Yep. So actually, this is now 13.3. So let's see how this looks. If I need to cut it shorter, I can. Kind of getting an idea, I think, of what I'm trying to achieve here. How beautiful are those? The roses are gorgeous. I didn't like it to start with. But the one I've ended up really liking and using quite a bit is this one. I really like this. I think that's really nice. Right, I'm just going to go with this. So we haven't even used any of the stamps yet. I'm going to put this one in the center. So this is right there on that center line using my grid paper. And then the other two are easier to pop in on the right and the left. I have to buy some more of the shimmer paper too. It comes in gold, soft succulent, and the fresh freesia that I'm using right now. It's just beautiful. I just love it. It's so smooth. It's not like the sandpapery ones that we have had in the past. Mind you, I love those too. They were beautiful, but this stuff is just divine. I don't think I put this on very straight, but that's okay. We're just going to pop it here. Now I'm going to need, I could stamp this in on a white piece. If it's going to have, then I've got to decide, do I want to put it on a white card base or a freesia card base? Because if it's on a freesia card base, it's going to look like that, but that's a lot of freesia. If it's on a white card base, dig under here. Here's a white. Yeah, I think maybe the white. Yeah, I think it will look better. Yes, definitely. You definitely want to have some dimension with your flowers, definitely. All right, so I'm going to grab my stylish shape dies. Stylish shapes dies, and I'm going to put a circle behind here, and I'm going to grab some vellum for that. Can you have, the good thing about this shimmer paper is it doesn't have, because it's not that sandpapery kind, you don't, not that any of our shimmer paper has bits that come off. Once upon a time it did, but not anymore. It hasn't for a long time. I remember when we were at a training event in Auckland back in 2019, before all this silly COVID stuff started, and we Sarah, our CEO, got up and showed us how you could actually, she was wearing black, and you could actually, you know, she rubbed the shimmer paper or the glimmer paper on her shirt, and everyone, there was a collective sound of from the whole audience. But of course she knew it wasn't going to come off, because the latest ones have not. They've been really good actually. But this stuff is not only doesn't come off, but it also, it's smooth. It has a smooth surface, and it's really like a fine shimmer. And I think if you get it, you will really love it. You'll really, really like it. A green base would look good too, like the Mossy Meadow that's in, or Evening Evergreen that's in the leaves here. It's both colours, both Evening Evergreen and Mossy Meadow are in the leaves of this paper. All right, so I'm going to put, so this is only going to show a little bit, but enough just to sort of highlight it slightly. Okay, so I'm going to put this, I just got, one of the reasons I was so excited to get my order was because I was out of dimensionals, totally out. Like I was down to my last 2 dimensionals. I think, yeah, here, look, 1, 2, oh, 3 dimensionals, right? And that's all I had left. And then when I got my order, I realized I forgot to order the dimensionals. So I went scrounging through my drawers, and I found 1 more packet. Ah, dear. Don't let anyone do this job, I swear. So this is just a little bit of a little bit coming out from underneath. It's probably hard for you to see it on that light background, but you can kind of just see it. It just makes it pop a little bit. All right, so then that is going to go on here. We could stick this straight down, or we could add more dimensionals. What the heck, let's add more dimensionals, because, you know, I've got so many. So there's a couple of reasons. I've had someone say to me the other day, why do you do Friday and Saturday nights? You know, you don't charge anything. You don't, you know, what's the point? And there's a couple of points. First of all, I want you guys to have a great, fun experience with Stampin' Up. I want you to love it like I love it. And I want to show you so many different ways to inspire you and use your products. Use what you have. I know a lot of you will never purchase from me because you're not my customers, or you're overseas, or all kinds of things. But I do have, I'm so grateful for the orders I receive. So grateful, because it literally puts the food on our table. My husband's income pays for the mortgage, and then my income pays for the groceries and the day-to-day living and all that kind of stuff. And you know, we share it together. It's a task that we do together. But I'm very aware that without this job, it would be a lot more. I wouldn't be able to work from home, and I wouldn't be able to indulge my love of crafting like I do on a day-to-day basis. So I'm very, very grateful for it. I've been doing this now for 16 years, just over 16 years. It was 16 back in September. So this will be this is my 17th year now. And I never thought when I joined that this would be me now. If I had, you know, looked at it down the track to see, I've earned 15 incentive trips in the time that I've been a demonstrator. And that's not everyone's experience. I know that a small percentage of people earn these things, and I'm very grateful that I've been very fortunate to. But you know, I'm so, you know, who would have thought? You know, I bought a Stampin' Scrub at my first thing. Now we get to decide, do we do white embossing on a black banner, or do we do colored stamping on a white banner? That is the question. Would a black banner be too much on this card? Or we have choices. We love choices, right? So here's so I'm going to have hello or thanks. The last card was the thanks card. We could have another thanks, or we could do, but I do want one of the two big sayings. Hi there, Louise. Nice to meet you. Oh, thank you for subscribing. That's awesome. No, you're very welcome. Thank you so much. Every time someone subscribes to my channel, it helps me grow my little business. So I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so thankful. White on black, says Jody. Okay, you're the first, Jody. So white on black it is. So let's get our piece of black. And did I have any black left over from before? I did, but it's not big enough, so we'll just go with this one. And I'm going to cut this at a width that's going to go through my mini cut and emboss machine. For anyone who's wondering how to get yourself a mini cut and emboss machine, this is the special that Stampin' Up is offering at the moment for people who join. Okay, so if you're in Australia and you would like to join, you can reach out and I'll get you any information you need, answer any questions you might have. I love being a demonstrator, and I know it's not for everyone. Did we decide whether it was going to be thanks or... Oh, soft succulent would probably work too. It would be a very soft card though, wouldn't it? Whereas this is quite dramatic. Jean said hello, and Jean was the first. Okay, hello it is. So brand new set, like I said, only just got it. But I love it when they have sets that I'm going to stick this, for anyone who hasn't seen this before, I'm sticking this straight onto the block. The sticker, taking the back off it, and then I'm going to grab my stamp. Right, so if you haven't been around for a while, put that down there. To join, normally you spend $169 and you get $235 worth of products of your choice. You can pick anything you like, and that's pretty cool. However, at the moment, they've got a special where you spend $169 and they're going to give you $315 worth of product. That's a substantial increase. It's very, very, very cool. Okay, I'm just going to use my embossing buddy here to get rid of any static on the page. I'm going to use my Versamark again. We're going to get this all inked up. And then there's two other options to join. Okay, if you think that that sounds good, but you love one of the mini cut and emboss machines, you can spend $210 and they will give you that $315 worth of free product plus a mini cut and emboss machine. And you can choose whether you want the white one or the beautiful blue one. Okay, up to you. But if you love the blue one, the only time you can get it is right now. It's going to be not available after the end of February. So this joining special is like an exclusive thing. Now I'm going to dump my white powder. You guys have seen me do this once tonight already. I don't normally emboss 2 cards in a row, but that's what we're doing. All right, so you can see I overstamped a little bit here. That's what my brush is for. So let's come in here and get rid of that extra bit. All right, now I'm going to take the lid off this, take the plug off here, and pop that back in the tin. You've done lots of putting on labels today. You have, Margaret. Congratulations. It's very exciting. All right, so now that I've got this on here and it's looking good, I'm going to grab my heat tool and we're going to cook this again like we did before. So this is not going to take a moment. Well, it is going to take a moment. It won't take long. And I usually hold it so that the light catches it. It goes shiny when it starts to change. And here it goes from this end where the H is coming down to the L's and finally the O. I'm going to give it a moment to cool down a little bit before I touch it. It's nice, isn't it? Isn't that beautiful? Looks really good. All right, so that's good now. Okay, let's move this in. Oh, I didn't put my dies away. Very naughty. So let's pop this here. And let's grab out my banner. I'm going to have to turn it around to face me because I just can't get a better view of it if I do it that way. I'm just centering it in the middle. Who likes embossing? Anybody else a embossing fan like me? I really love to emboss. And my favorite embossing technique is emboss resist. That's my favorite. One thing I will say about this mini machine, it's a lot quieter than the big machine. Right, let's see how we went here. Here we go. And here we have our beautiful hello on our, can you see the stitching around the outside? Really nice. Really lovely die. To buy these machines, for anyone who's wondering, to buy them normally, if you just want the machine, the mini ones are $110. I need to check the price of the big one. It used to be $209, but I'm not sure about that now. So I will probably need to find that out before I quote that price to you. All right, so this is going to go down here. Will we have it right in the middle? Or we'll have it to one side? What do we think about that? If we have it to one side, I would probably pop a little bit of like a twine here. What do you guys think? If we go in the middle, we probably don't need the twine, or if we did, I'd probably pop it down the right-hand side. It is a fun thing to do, Margaret. I really love it. Yes, that's right. So this stamp set, you can get it in either photopolymer or you can choose the red rubber or cling stamps. And that's an important thing to know because depending on which one you want, it's a different number, of course. So I like both, but my favorite are cling stamps. I do prefer the rubber stamps. In the middle says Jody, says Ellen. Okay. Middle says Cherie. Everyone's going middle, so we're going to go middle. There we go. Now, do we need twine? That is the question. I could do a white twine. That would look rather nice. I think other ribbons would be too much. So I have got a pack of little twines here. Yes, I was looking for the price of the big machine, Megan. Do you have it there handy? Ah, you like the purple. All right, so I'm going to go to the white. So this is actually the pack, the 5-pack of basic Baker's Twine Essentials pack. And it's got all your basic neutrals. So you've got vanilla, crumb cake. This is a grey. It might be grey granite and black and white. Okay, so I'm going to use the white one. 218. Thanks, Megan. Appreciate that. I'm glad that I didn't say for sure what it was. Black glitter ribbon. Oh, yeah, that could work. I do have that. But it might be too thick, maybe. I don't want to, I feel like if I add too much to this card, it might get overwhelming. So that's why I was kind of leaning towards just going with the twine. See, there's our white twine. That's how that would look. It's quite nice. The black glitter ribbon. We don't have the black glitter ribbon anymore. Did you know that? We have the white glitter ribbon, but not black. So that's something we used to have. I just realized. So that was beautiful, that black ribbon, but I'm glad they've left us with the white one. I'll be sad when it goes because I use it a lot. There you go. Thank you, Megan. Just put up the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the big one. The advantage of the big one, obviously, it's heavier duty for if you're doing, you know, a lot of cutting. And so if I'm doing for classes and things, I will use my big one for that. But when I go to a class, I take my mini because it's easier to carry and it's usually big enough for what I need. Unless I was going to use an embossing folder that wouldn't fit, a big size embossing folder that wouldn't fit through the mini. Right, so let's pop these. And I think maybe some iridescent pearls might finish this off. What do we think? Do we like the iridescent pearls? Would that work? Oh, your cutting machine broke the other day. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, what a shame. That's really a shame, Donna. Oh, okay. So I just tried to, here's a very good example of why you use the Take Your Pick tool to take these off, because I just tried to pick it up and it shot off over here, and thankfully I can find it, but much easier to pop it on your Take Your Pick tool. Much easier. So you kind of just dig it underneath that, and we'll use a little one up the top. There we go. I think the iridescent pearls look good on there. So there we go. Very shimmery. What do we think? Do we like this? It is a bit special with all that shimmer paper. I hope you like it. So we did 2 really different cards tonight. Both of them have white embossing, interestingly. Cherie, for anyone who missed it earlier, Cherie said it looks like she's holding a shrunken head. It's actually meant to be a lantern, but now I can't stop seeing the face. that's hilarious. All right, let's pop this here. So there are cards tonight, guys. What do we think? Does anyone have any questions for me? Anything before we head off? I think they both turned out really nice. The whole point about this is, even though, yes, I know we used a bit of embossing, we did a bit more work on these cards than I would normally do. You know, I prefer very simple cards. So these are not, I mean, this one is simple because of the paper. We've added some bits to it and then we did the embossing. And this one has the shimmer paper and some die cutting and some embossing. So yeah, these are a little bit more higher level cards, I would say, but they're still not particularly difficult cards. And my whole purpose of doing this is I want to show you how fun and easy it is to create beautiful cards yourself, and to give you great ideas on how you might do that. So that is my plan. And that's my why, what I do here. I'm building I hope, a community of people that love to get together and craft. And also, you know, just helping you guys find inspiration and ideas and techniques. That's what I want to do. And then, of course, my internal why is to feed my family and to, you know, grow my business so that I can do all the fun things that Stampin' Up allows me to do. So there you go. Ah, you didn't know that before, Jody. There you go. Yep, it sure can. And to be honest, white ink, if you're going to be like for me, it would be more effective for me to show white ink than Versamark because it's on a video. It's a lot easier to see white ink, right? You're very welcome, Gina. And I'm really hoping that you all have a fantastic weekend. I'll be back on Sunday night, and I probably won't go. You probably won't be doing lots of embossing and stuff on Sunday night. We'll go a little simpler. But I really hope that you will enjoy your weekend. Hopefully find some crafty time, and I'll see you on Sunday night. Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Bye-bye.